In the wild world of crypto, what really separates the flash-in-the-pan projects from the ones with real staying power? Well, today, we're going to dive right into the Cardano ecosystem and look at three very different builders, and each one of them has a unique answer to that exact question.
So this is it, right? This is the big question. In a space that's so often just driven by hype, what's the actual blueprint for success? Is it all about having the most advanced tech? Or is it about sheer human will and just perseverance? Or maybe it's about making things so simple that literally anyone can use them. Today, we're going to see three projects that offer three very different and pretty compelling answers. Okay, first up, let's talk about a strategy that's based on pure technological advantage. We're looking at Chakra Agents, a project that basically believes the best way to win is to simply have the best tools for the job. So Chakra just announced a massive upgrade. They've integrated GPT 5.3. Now, you have to understand, for anyone building AI agents on Cardano, this is a huge deal. The first immediate benefit is just smarter outputs. Think about an AI that doesn't just answer your questions, but can actually anticipate your needs, providing responses that are more intelligent, more relevant, and genuinely useful. And then there's this cleaner reasoning. This is where it gets really interesting for an AI that lives in the blockchain. It's all about the AI's ability to follow a logical path, to make decisions that are totally transparent and justifiable. I mean, in a trustless environment where you can't just take someone's word for it, that's not just a nice feature, it's an absolute necessity. And finally, all of this leads to just less noise. You get smarter outputs, you get cleaner reasoning, and it all combines to just cut through the static, delivering results that are concise and accurate. For Chakra, the strategy is pretty simple. Constantly upgrade your core technology so you can stay on the cutting edge and deliver a product that is just fundamentally better than the rest. All right, let's move on to our next story, which, honestly, it couldn't be more different. This one isn't about code, it's about courage. This is the story of Wisdom and Pokey, and it's about a team's fight to honor a legacy in the face of some incredible adversity. This timeline, wow, it reads like a drama in 6 acts. The story starts with this incredible vision from their late founder, Sean. To honor him, the team outsources the development of Pokey V2. But then, total crisis. The development firm, Cybe, just vanishes right before the launch, leaving the project completely in limbo. I mean, most teams would have folded right then and there. But this is where the story takes a turn. This quote really says it all. Instead of giving up, they took the entire burden on themselves. Their own internal team rebuilt the entire application in just 2.5 months, which is a fraction of the time the outsource firm had already failed in. And this wasn't just about salvaging a product. It was a moral duty to their founder's vision. It's such a powerful lesson on the importance of human capital over just outsourced code. So, what's the plan for survival now? Well, after the Pokey launch, which is happening any day, they're not just going back to business as usual. They've learned a really hard lesson. One of the biggest takeaways here is their decision to tap into Web 2 markets for stable, non-crypto revenue. They know that to survive crypto's crazy volatility, they need to build revenue streams outside of it. It's a pragmatic, powerful strategy that was born from real hardship. Okay, so from a story of survival, we now turn to a story of accessibility. Our third and final case study, Nuvola Digital, presents yet another blueprint. Their focus isn't just on tech or even resilience, but on solving what might be the single biggest problem in Web3, making it easy enough for everyone to actually use. You know the old way of onboarding into Web3. It's full of friction, complicated setups, wallets, seed phrases. It forces users to learn a whole new, really complex system. Nuvola's approach is the complete opposite. They believe real adoption only happens when things feel familiar. So they offer a simple email login, an intuitive interface, and all that complex decentralized tech. It just works quietly in the background where you don't even have to see it. And look, this isn't just some nice idea on a whiteboard. Nuvola is already putting this whole philosophy into action, and it's generating real value for its community. Let's actually look at the numbers. First, let's talk about their node operations, which helps secure the network. They recently got over 140,000 MNTX tokens from Minutes Network. So what did they do with the rewards portion? They gave 100% of it directly to their stakers, the people who locked up their own tokens to support the project. I mean, that's how you build incredible community trust and show you're committed to sharing the success. But this is where it gets really interesting. They acquired an internet service provider called FiberNet, which has already generated over $13,000 in real-world fiat revenue for their stakers. This move is brilliant on so many levels. It gives them a real-world asset, a recurring revenue stream that's totally independent of crypto prices, and most importantly, it gives them direct access to Web2 customers who they can then seamlessly onboard to their Web3 products. It is the perfect bridge. All right, so we've seen 3 very different stories from the front lines of development on Cardano. Let's try to pull it all together and see what the combined blueprint for building something that actually lasts might look like. When you lay it all out like this, you see 3 distinct but, equally valid strategies. You've got chakra betting on maintaining a technological edge. Then you have the Poke team proving that human resilience, driven by a powerful vision, can overcome literally anything. And Nuvola shows us that a relentless focus on the user, on simplifying complexity, is the key to mass adoption. And what's really interesting is that both Poke and Nuvola share a common thread, this pivot towards real-world sustainable revenue. Which, of course, brings us to our final question. As we look at these different blueprints for building in Web3, which path do you think is the most vital for the future? Is it having the sharpest technology, the strongest will, or the simplest user experience? Or maybe the projects that truly last will need to find a way to master all 3. I'd love to know what you think. Thanks for joining this explainer.